All right, Eric, we got you back for your second camp of this past weekend. We went down to the great state of Alabama. FBU was down in Montgomery. Again, great talent pool of tradition of great football down there in Alabama. Let's talk a little bit about some of the great athletes that you got to see and evaluate down there. Let's start with maybe our Gatorade Award winners. You know, we had Cameron Sparks. Tell us a little bit about him and what he can do.
Cameron Sparks. I hope he's still around playing football in 4 years, Joe. So I'm still getting to continue to watch him. He's one of the top basketball players in the country in his grad class. I didn't know that until I left there because he didn't tell me. And then when I looked for him on Twitter and to retweet his G Award and Freshman All-American Bowl invite, lo and behold, I find out he plays football and basketball up at the private school in Chattanooga, Tennessee. He's well known in the basketball world. If you Google him on YouTube or whatever, he's dunking on people, blocking shots, and everything else. But let's talk about his football prowess.
I was going to say, yeah, what's it look like with cleats on?
He looks real good. You know, he came in and started dominating camp immediately. We had to bump him up to high school. Just, you know, has everything you're looking for in a football player. I don't know that football long term will ever, get the fruits of labor of this because he's such a good and high level basketball player, similar to the Pacheco kid from Seattle that we saw in the FBU National Championship 5 years ago. That's now the top 5 player in the country and going to Duke. But right now, he walked in, and we're going to make it a hard decision for him. Does he want to be a football wide receiver, or does he want to be a power forward?
Well, he looks the part. And then you add the other award winner, Mr. Pierce, at the same time.
Yeah, Jotavian Pierce, and it was a unique situation. Normally, when you have a middle school athlete dominating, you don't have another middle school athlete of that caliber to put right across from them and let them go head to head, whether it's O-line, D-line, linebacker, running back, or in this case, DB wide receiver. But that wasn't the case here. Cameron got good work all day against Jotavian Pierce, who's enrolled in the Carver High School out of Montgomery, which has produced Marlon Davidson, Zach Wilson's. It's probably the most prestigious football tradition over in Montgomery, Alabama. And he was up to the challenge of going against Cameron, and he won some and he lost some reps. And I think that's what made each one better. You know, Cameron being at the Baylor School there in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and Jotavian in Montgomery, Alabama. You look at that picture right there, you would think Jotavian's short, but he's probably 6'1".
Yeah.
So that tells you about Cameron Sparks, good 6'3".
So not only did they win the Gatorade Award, but now they also looks like they punched a ticket to the Freshman All-American Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, they were so – Joe, this very rarely happens. They were so good. They were so good that out of the 2 G Awards, we gave them both to middle school athletes. It's only happened once or twice in the last decade that I've been at. So that tells you – that wasn't a slight to the high school athletes there, and we'll talk about some of those. But it just tells you that these two are very, very special. And it's great to have representation out of the Alabama and Tennessee on that Freshman All-American Bowl roster.
No doubt.